Action.
Welcome to Restaurante Union Street.
Okay. Kids here at Union Street School know to wash their hands before they go in to eat. We are healthy and well. And hey, Paul, and I think that's why it's snow. Meet you guys in the cafeteria for lunch.
That's how we walk into Restaurante Union Street.
You need to meet them. And then Paul, can you say this is how we line up? Is this
Where you line up at Restaurante Union Street.
Hi.
all right?
Big meal, and what do you want? I shouldn't have to ask. Do you want French fries?
Yes, please.
How about tossed salad?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. So make sure that you take a fruit, okay? So I would give you your tray. You would take a fruit. You would also have your milk already on there,
Yeah.
right? And then because you're on this side, you turn around and go see Mrs. Lewis.
Or would, okay, all right.
All right, and Mrs. Lewis is, if she doesn't know your name, she's going to say, what's your last name, please?
Okay, so I'm Mrs. Lou, or do we want Leslie to, or Emily to?
Emily, yeah.
Is she going to be doing this?
She'll be on my side.
Okay, so we'll just for pretend.
Sure.
So Emily, you're gonna sit here, and so you come up and go ahead and you're getting this filmed.
Last name, please.
And your teacher?
Okay. And what else would you? What would you do to make a connection with Miss Emily? Like, what would you say? How would you? So what? Okay, so let's do action and go ahead.
This is the condiment table. Bonnie likes us to take a napkin, put it on your tray like this, hold it down with your thumb. And if you need one, you can take a fork and a spoon and put it on there, and then just go and walk to your seat.
Just say I'm Joe and what grade you're in.
I'm Joel and I'm in 5th grade. I'm Paul and I'm in 5th grade. I'm Chloe and I'm in 5th grade. I'm Jordan and I'm in 5th grade. I'm Peyton and I'm in 4th grade. I'm Brendan and I'm in 5th grade.
And give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if the lunchroom has been a fun experience this year for you. So if it's been a fun experience, fingers, okay. Or if it's been not a great experience. Okay, so we got kind of a mix. All right, good. All right, and can you tell me what's your biggest complaint about your restaurant at Union Street School? Joe?
It's way noisy, and after the first 5 minutes, it's really loud.
Okay, and how does that make you guys feel when it's really loud in here?
We feel bad, and most of us come back with headaches before recess.
Big time.
Headaches, okay. And I know when I was in here the other day and I was acting like a waiter, that everybody was saying the same thing. So I thought it would be really cool if the group of you folks could role play for the rest of the kids how you use a restaurant voice, okay? Because restaurants get really busy. We have over, you guys have at each lunch about at least 130 kids in this room right here. 130 kids. That's a lot. So even if you were all talking like how I'm talking right now, would it end up being really loud or not loud?
Very loud.
It would be loud, yeah. So let's show them what a restaurant voice is. And so maybe how you can show them is you can say, tell us, each one of you take a turn using your restaurant voice, and maybe you're saying, I don't know, you can say anything. Go ahead. So maybe just, Peyton, do you want to start?
I don't know what to say.
Go ahead and demonstrate that restaurant voice. So you're talking to, Jordan. Go ahead.
Are you going to play the swings on recess? Yeah, sure.
And then, so keep that restaurant voice going. What would you say, Jordan?
Do you want to swing with me and Peyton?
Okay.
Are you still playing tag at recess today? Hey Joe, you want to play tag with me and Chloe?
Sorry, I'm playing some.
And so, Joe, can you use a soft restaurant voice to Brendan?
Hey, Brendan, you want to play Sonic?
Sorry, I'm playing dead.
Now, could you hear him?
Not really.
Okay, and so what could you say in a restaurant voice? Like, say, oh, because look, see how far they're sitting away from each other? And do you sometimes want to talk to somebody who's across the table from you? What could we do so that you could get his attention to talk to him? Jordan?
We've had a good idea for a while. Some of us have made it up for the past couple of years. Having a pad of paper and a pencil in the middle of the table after you're done eating to like talk amongst yourself with the paper. Do you remember when we used to do that? I don't know. No, you were in Union. Do you remember that? Having a pad of paper in the middle and then when we were done, we would
That
draw
was in
and stuff.
3rd grade.
We did that.
Well,
in
let's
third grade.
that's a good idea. Let's ask about that later. So, but I'm saying, like, if I wanted to talk, so Joe doesn't hear Brendan, he can just say, you can say, hey, use your hand, just be like, hey, Brendan, I didn't hear you. Can you say that again? Okay, go ahead.
Some people like me, they like their voices get really high and they don't even mean it to. I'm one of those people and it just happens on accident.
And so, what are you going to do, Joe? Joe, what are you going to do to help remind yourself to use that restaurant voice when you get excited and you see your friends? Is there anything that you can think of that you can do that might help the other kids too here? What helps you to remind yourself to kind of ground down and quiet down?
My tongue, but I can't.
Maybe just some self-talk in your head saying, oh, I'm getting too loud, I got to use my restaurant voice. Can you try that? Like, just right now, say it real softly to yourself. Okay, so he's just reminding himself to use his restaurant voice, okay? If somebody's being loud and we all start saying, hey, you're not using your restaurant voice, is that going to make the problem bigger or smaller? Bigger, yeah. So I'm going to say if somebody isn't using the restaurant voice or they're forgetting, yeah, you could maybe give them a sign. What was that sign? The Quiet Coyote sign. And then if they don't get the Quiet Coyote sign, I would just just let the teacher handle it, because they will hear. You know, it will get loud. And I know that nobody wants to get loud. Just like Joe was saying, he said, sometimes I get loud. I don't want to. It happens, and so I have to remind myself. So, Joe, if somebody went like Quiet Coyote to you, would that offend you, or would you be, if they just kind of smiled at you and did that?
Well, it depends. Like my mom says sometimes, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Okay.
So like if someone just went like this politely, I would be fine with that. But if they like put their hand right in my face, I wouldn't be fine.
Okay, all right. Then you would not feel fine with it, and then it would make the problem bigger or smaller.
Bigger.
Yeah, bigger. Okay, so that is great advice to the kids at this school. Thank you. We were just talking also about most of the kids here. Would you say walk or do they run in the dining room?
Some people walk and some people like just run around and try to race.
And what the rest of you? What do you think when you see somebody in here that's like running? What thoughts come into your head, Paul?
I think, wow, there's going to be some sort of disaster. Like someone's going to spill their milk or someone's going to get hit or something.
Okay, so you get like that, and that must be kind of a worried feeling, like, oh my God, okay, what's going to happen next? And you probably, do you want to hang out with that person, or are you feeling like, yeah, because you're kind of like not sure what's going to happen? Yeah, Jordan?
Probably thinking, oh no, here comes disaster, because there's so many people in here turning around to talk to different people like this, and their legs are out or something, and it could just, like, if you're holding a tray or something, you could end up breaking an arm or just,
So do you recommend, Peyton, would you say, do you recommend that kids try to remind themselves to walk when they're in the restaurant? And I think that if you just, I think that if you just really, really focus on that your cafeteria is your restaurant and this is your dining time, I think that that might help. So Joe and Paul.
Yeah.
it's the end of lunch, and what happens? Do the teachers tell you to line up, or how does that work?
They wait to see which table is the quietest, and they just call the tables up to go to the line.
So let's talk about that, Chloe. So your tables get called up, and they're standing in line. They get called up because they're the quietest. When they're in line, are they using that restaurant quiet voice?
Not always.
Okay. And so do you think that even when we're in line, we should use our restaurant voice? Okay. So I wonder if the school would be willing to practice that restaurant voice even when you're lining up. It's not just means when you're sitting here at the table. It means when you're in any line. Yeah, Jordan?
I think even lining up, I don't even think we should be talking at all. Because our teachers are always telling us don't be talking when we leave.
I know it is hard, but you see your friend, and I get that. So I think if you have the urge to talk, if you can just really use that restaurant voice, okay? I think that might help. And if each one of us does it, it really is going to take all of us. It's going to take all when we walk out. So you're still staying in a line. All right, go ahead and watch how they hold the door for each other. Okay, Jordan's going to do it, and they're walking out. Okay, and let's go ahead and follow them. And if you guys can stop right there. 1, 2, 3, go.
Thank you for joining us at Restaurant in Union Street.
Actor Paul. Thank you. Actress Jordan. Thank you. Actor Joe. Actor Chloe. Actor Peyton. Actor Brendan. And Brendan is our video tech guy. Thank you, video tech guy. Shh. Let's go to the teacher's lounge and see what happens in there. Here we are in the teacher's lunchroom, the place where all the kids always wonder what's going on in there. And look at how our teachers are using their restaurant manners. And we have some restaurant voices over here.
One of the kids leaned over to me and said, "What have you done?" And I said, "Oh, I'm having the voicemail souvenir." And it wasn't even
So you can hear there's a little bit of noise in here, but still, people at this table are able to hear each other. People over here are able to hear each other. The end.